Now we want to dig into the topic of today. We want to dig into the question, why are you trading? And you can already see it here. Answering this question is obviously something very, very individual. Probably it makes the most sense to give you an idea of why I, for example, trade. So one of the main reasons is certainly to trade because of the money, but over the years I distanced myself a little from this purely monetary aspect. So when I was in my early 20s, when I after finishing school, when I headed into the world of first, it wasn't really, in fact, I started working out in the bank, and then I went to university to study mathematics and economics. But all in all, I started working in a bank with a clear focus on trading and on the investment world, in fact. So that was my main field of interest, in fact. And the fact that I studied mathematics and economics after that was mainly driven by the fact that I wanted to become a quant. I wanted to become a trader on Wall Street. I wanted to work for the biggest investment banks in the world. That was, by the way, shortly before the big financial crisis hit. So it was 2004, 2005, in fact, when I formulated a plan for me. And it was mainly monetary driven. So it was in my early 20s. I wanted to make tons of money. I wanted to surround myself with beautiful women. I want to drive expensive cars. I wanted to wear expensive clothes, big watches. I just wanted to be king of the world, master of the universe, if you want. So some of you might laugh now, but if we are honest to ourselves, then this is probably one of the main reasons why we all want to be traders. That was in my early 20s. And yeah, sure. I mean, today I'm married. I have 2 wonderful kids. My wife is the most beautiful woman in the world. So at least this plan worked out as initially planned. But in general, over the time, I realized, especially also when trading, and not only as a professional, but also then as a prop trader, a trader for my own account, I found out that trading is in fact something which is not only, or it cannot be really about the money. So if you're sitting in front of your screen, you will find out that it's something which is very, very, you're alone, right? So there's no real friends. There's probably some small fraction of the members within your family or among your friends who will understand what trading is about. And you, in fact, at the end of the day, you don't really have someone to talk to when it comes to this topic. And so when you want to trade professionally, no money in the world can buy happiness. That's something every one of us will find out. You can make tons of money, and at the end of the day, if you do not have someone to spend it with, or you can talk about your profession, you can talk about what's fulfilling you, then you can have all the money in the world, and it's worth nothing at the end of the day. So, and that was when I realized, that was during my mid-20s and 20s, something like that, when I realized, okay, there has to be another answer to the question, why am I trading in this case? And so for me, for example, it's I found out over time that it's an intellectual challenge I face here every day. So it's not that I'm in for the excitement. I still want to make money, but to be better than others, you will find out that you have to be smarter than the others to some extent. You have to find your edge. You have to know yourself really well. And this is something which focuses not on money, but in fact, this focuses on especially the mental side. So you really have to understand the psychological aspects. You have to dig really deep into yourself and ask yourself questions. So why am I trading? What fulfills me? What gives me pleasure? And intellectual challenges and be better than others is something which really drives me. So I'm very, very competitive. That's also something why I'm so much in sports, for example. So if I go to the gym, it's certainly for the good feeling I get out of this, but it's also because I really want to challenge myself, and this is something which you can also find then when it comes to trading. So you can get a good idea of why or what is the reason why I am trading. But nevertheless, you can see that this is definitely something you should answer for yourself. And so to give you an idea, for example, here, I summed this up. So some people want to be independent traders, so self-employed, making ends meet, or actively managing their wealth, or managing the wealth, the money from others, for example, via managed account solutions, whatever, generate an income by the generated positive performance, management fee, performance fee, and all this, while others want to create a second or third or fourth source of income, for example, beside their activity as market analyst, trading coach. This is, for example, I pointed this out because this is one of the reasons when looking at the monetary aspect, why I trade. So it's not only because of the intellectual challenge, but it's also because for me, trading is another source of income. It's something where you can generate yield above the current market rate. So putting my money, for example, in a bond, which is paying me something like 0.1% or something, if I'm lucky, and we are not talking about German bonds here. So there we have negative interest rates, by the way. So this is something which where trading comes into play, and is very important. In fact, if you are after something like that, and beside an activity as a market analyst or trading coach or writing a book or something. So some of you probably have read the interview already, or probably Googled me, whatever, and you found out that I'm not only working as a market analyst. So some of the research pieces you find on the website, for example, on the website from Atmer Markets, is market research I worked out with my opinion on the market, with my ideas around the market, what is currently driving markets. So, and this is also something which is intellectually challenging me, and what I'm after here. But also, I like to work together with people, for example. So when it comes to educate people, I really try to help them. That doesn't mean that I say, here, this is a trading setup, now take it and trade, and then next client, please. But it's more like to interact with each other, to have the chance to answer questions, to dig deeper into the trading of someone else, to find solutions, also probably some solutions which will let me learn more about my trading, for example, writing a book, for example, giving webinars, giving seminars. So sometimes if I'm speaking at a trading booth, for example, people come to me and ask, okay, well, obviously you're not making any money trading the markets. And I'm a little surprised. Today, I know what's meant with this. At first, I was irritated. I was just like, what are you talking about? Why are you saying this? And yeah, well, you're here and you have to talk about the market. You have to educate people, but you're not trading actively right now. That is especially funny because my trading approach is, let's call it semi-automated one, which means my trading signals are generated automatically, and then if market conditions are right, I intervene discretionary, from a discretionary perspective, for example. So it could be that someone tells me, you are not trading the markets, while I have, let's say, 2-3 positions open while speaking to a broader audience, as I have, for example, right now. So the reason I'm not solely focusing on trading is because it does not fulfill me, or it's not enough to fulfill me, to give me fulfillment and joy in life in general. So it's more like I want to do more than that. Instead of just entering the market and then trading a stop, let's say if a trend occurs on an intraday basis or something like that, this is not really something which fulfills you. But I get joy and I get fulfillment out of, for example, analyzing the market and really think about motivations which could drive the market higher, lower, whatever. To interact with people, to write my knowledge down in form of a book, for example. And if all this is combined, then you can see what it's meant with the fact that I want to create a second or third or fourth income, in fact, while others on top of that, or solely want to actively manage funds, for example, set up a hedge fund, a manager fund, whatever. So to answer this question, you can already see it. It's really, really crucial. And the last point, especially when looking at 2020, with volatility to be expected to rise in the months to come, with the U.S. election, with the still ongoing trade dispute between the U.S. and China. Yes, there will be a sign-off of the phase 1 trade deal next week on Wednesday on the 15th of January, but we still do not know what's in this phase 1 trade deal. Will something change? Will tensions arise because phase 2 trade deal will not take off as expected, whatever. So volatility rather sooner or later should pick up here. And then knowing why you trade and have a clear plan is even more important for your long-term trading success. Then it's solely by focusing on 2020. So there will be times when you have to remind yourself why you're trading and what's your target. Why are you doing all this? Why you take all the pain, which is connected to trading. So we are all grown up, so we all know that trading and losing money, this is naturally. It happens. It just happens. It's part of the game. It's the price you have to pay to keep on trading. Something which is very important because in a few minutes we want to come back to this here, to this mantra. We have to formulate for ourselves. But so when it comes to all this, we have to understand that there has to be a deeper meaning, and we have to have a clear answer for ourselves, especially to the questions, why are we trading? So the questions which are going hand in hand with this question, or the answer to the question why you're trading, is let's call it sub-questions. For example, you have to answer for yourself. So for example, the answer to the question, where do you want to end up with your trading? What's your goal for this year? What's your goal for the next year? Not just in trading, but in your life in general. There's a very, very great quote from a philosopher here. It's Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I just hope that this is right, because in school I hadn't the chance to study French, but instead I choose Italian. But a dream without a goal is just a wish. Just to give you an idea of that, I'm not just giving you here great advice and not living by this idea myself. For example, at the end of last year, I took off the last something like 2 weeks or so of the year, so around Christmas, New Year. And there was a morning when I sat down with my wife. We had breakfast together, and we're talking a little. And at one point she asked me, she said, hey, what are your goals for 2020? Sure, family, spend time with your family and all this, but I also said, yeah, there's also goals which are important for me, for example. So for example, first goal is I want to invest in myself, first of all. So this is where it all comes down to, in fact, investing in myself here. But I said, well, I don't want to watch Netflix or that stuff, but on average, I want to read 1 book per month. That's one target, it's probably not really difficult for me to achieve, because I'm a bookworm. I think this is like in German we call this Bücherwurm. I'm not sure, but I'm really reading lots of books. But besides of that, I also said I want to learn to program. I think 2 years ago, 1.5 years, 2 years ago, I bought an online course on programming in Python, for example. So it's a universal programming language, and which is probably surprising to many. But in fact, I was never deep into the matter of programming or something like that. So I had some courses in university when I studied mathematics, but and I know the basics, let's say, but it's not that I'm really into the matter and I'm capable to program. That's why I said, well, I want to really learn this, and therefore I wrote down a schedule. I said, well, I want to spend at least 2 hours a week sitting down and learn and go through this online course I already bought 1.5-2 years ago. Why is this important, or where does it come to? Well, first of all, it shows I wrote down an appointment in my calendar, and I say I have to spend here this day, that day, whatever, and I created a series, 1 hour today to study this and that. So this is the first thing. It reminds you, and it keeps you it keeps you going. It reminds you to study. That you said that's one of your targets. Similar to write down when you want to go to the gym, for example. What has this to do with trading? It's the same with trading. here the trading journal comes into play. Really writing down what did you feel, why did you enter the market, and all this. But this is probably even more fundamental here, to really write down what are your targets. So, for example, when it comes to programming and learning such a coding language here like Python, I for myself formulated a clear plan which I want to achieve. I want to program myself a strategy in Python. It can be an easy one, that doesn't really matter, but I want to program one which runs and generates automated trading signals. Let's say it's a moving crossover system, and then use this here for future, for example, future projects. Like you program a code which makes it possible to see how did you perform in regards to, let's say, risk-adjusted returns or something with your own trading compared to an ETF, let's say S&P 500 ETF or a DAX ETF. Why do I come to this conclusion, or why do I want to have this? Well, look at the performance in equities last year. So every money manager has to answer the question, what did you do last year? I don't know many money managers who made over 30% last year on a risk-adjusted basis, especially compared to the volatility, which was quite low in the S&P 500, for example. So having a tool which gives you a possibility to to really see the risk-adjusted returns, compare your trading to that, program this in a programming language like Python. This is a target I want to achieve to make my life easier, probably to increase the overall value when holding such webinars. Probably there will be a day within this Trading Spotlight series when we want to dig deeper, we will dig deeper into this topic, for example. But here you can see it's not only a dream for me, but it's a clear target I formulated. I have a clear goal, and that's one of the reasons why it's likelier for me to achieve that goal. And the same is true when it comes to trading, in fact, for your trading. So, and let's just go very simple with a very, very simple target in your trading for 2020. Let's say you have a trading plan, you have a strategy, and now your goal is follow the strategy, no matter what. No, no excuses. No, just follow the strategy, follow the plan, and your target is to follow the plan. And if you don't follow the plan, write down why and have a good explanation. If not, you didn't fulfill the goal, and you have to make things better afterwards. You have to keep on following the plan and probably find good ways to, not good ways, but you have to, let's call it, punish yourself. Let's say there has to be something you don't like to do. Let's say 10 push-ups or something. This is already something where you say, oh, well, I suffer after 3 or so. Well, no problem. So you didn't follow your trading plan, go do 10 push-ups. That's, for example, something. So it's both. First of all, you get reminded that not following your plan results in punishment, and the punishment then, if you do 10 push-ups, can lead to physical health to some extent. So it has to somehow make your life better, not just in regards to trading, but probably also in your general life, for example. So formulate a clear plan you want to follow in 2020 in regards to your trading, because and also remind yourself that you have to follow the plan, because everything else is just a dream, and a dream without a goal is just a wish and nothing more than that. Okay, so now your strengths and weaknesses. Let's have a look at this here at this point, and what has this to do with your trading. So again, this is very individual, and your answer will give you an idea of your personal trading personality. So, for example, when I work together with students at the beginning, I want to know, who are you? So it's not just who are you and what's your name and how old are you and what business do you come from and that, but I really want to get an idea of what drives you. So that's one of the reasons why, in my opinion, a so-called trading psychological profile is so important. And so we want to nevertheless don't get too deep into this matter here, but just give you an idea of what are your strengths and weaknesses and why knowing yourself is so important in this regard. So for example, what are you? Are you a discretionary trader, or are you a so-called algo trader? So are you fully in automated trading? Or also, are you actively managing your trades or just letting them run, work with predefined stop losses, take profit levels? I call this, we can call this a make or break approach. So make it to the take profit or get stopped out. And this is the question which comes down to this, and that's why it's so important to know yourself here. Can you delegate responsibility? So the thing is, if you can give away responsibility, or you can't give away such a decision to an algo here, or to an automated trading strategy, this is probably something you have to work on then, because at the end of the day, once you enter the trade, if it's a long or short position, doesn't really matter. The thing is, you're not in charge of the outcome of the trade anymore. And this is something which is very, very important to become an overall successful trader here. So you really can't do this. Still, it has to suit your personality, because the closer you are to the point here to give away responsibility, but still feel yourself comfortable giving it away, the more likely it is that it will succeed here in this regard. Also, a question which is very important is which time frame are you trading in? So very important, or very interesting, let's say. So just imagine the following. You're going to a social media platform, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, and there appears an ad, and there it says, download this trading strategy. It generates you an income on a daily basis. It's an intraday trading approach here. Let's take our Traders Yard trading approach here. Open range breakout in the DAX. And every morning, 9:05, you will have the range, and then you, based on the identified advantage, you can enter your order here into the market, and the market will take care of it. Let's assume that you're fine with working with such a make or break approach here. So you have a stop loss, you have to take profit, and that's it. Only problem with that is, just assume, now let's assume you don't know how to program the strategy. You have to put in all those trading details discretionary, so yourself. It's not automated. The trading itself then is automated, but entering the order is not automated. And now assume that you have a 9-to-5 job, let's say, which means you have to be in the office at 9, probably at 8:55, because at 9 you have a meeting already with your team, whatever. Can you still enter the order into the market? This is what I mean with it has to suit your lifestyle. So it is already a big problem here if it's not fully automated. It's not a fully automated approach to follow your trading routine here. So which answers the question, why answering this question, which time frame are you trading in, is so crucial. And your trading has to fit your lifestyle. It's not that your lifestyle has to fit your trading. This is something which is very, very important, in fact. So your trading shouldn't dictate you what to do when, but it should be clear that you have a life, you have a family, whatever, and so far everything's fine. And to make sure that this stays the case here, your trading, which is now a new topic in 2020, let's say, or has been already last year, but now, especially in 2020, now this trading has to fit your lifestyle. It has to fit your overall job, for example, your family. If you're in charge of picking up the kids from the kindergarten every day, let's say at 4 p.m. German time, for example, then it's very difficult for you to trade around the market opening of U.S. markets, for example. So now you could say you tell your wife, or if you're a woman, you could tell your husband, well, sorry, darling, but I have to trade. But believe me, this won't work out well, because I think the top priority should be to pick up your children from the kindergarten. So, and you will have discussions, and these discussions probably can lead to further discussions and some tense situations in your overall life. So that said, it should be clear that trading is something which should work well together with your lifestyle, not the other way around. And this is something which is important then, coming back to the questions, to know yourself, to know your responsibilities, to know your lifestyle in general. And if the trading approach you plan to trade works with your lifestyle. Yeah, and so this is already something which is also then coming down to strengths and weaknesses, and with the overall headline here. Probably easier to understand when it comes to the question here, can you delegate responsibility? If you have trouble doing that, then fully automated trading would probably not get the job done for you. That's, for example, something we'd like to, how we should put this together then, in fact. So now let's have a look here at your trading goals for 2020 and beyond. So as I already pointed out, making money as a goal won't cut it, since trading is a game of chance, and thus even good trades will lose from time to time. So which means nothing more than your main goal should be to formulate a mantra here that helps you focusing on the process, not the result. So in general, you make a big step forward in regards to your trading when trading is something for you which is not result driven but process driven. Okay, that's what I especially meant at the beginning, or several minutes ago, when I talked about follow a plan could be something, or could be a target for 2020 in your trading. Follow the plan rigorously. And if you don't follow the plan, find ways to make you follow the plan. For example, I want to avoid the push-ups. Some get pleasure out of push-ups, some don't. And I think that many don't really like to do push-ups. That's if they really follow the plan, and if they if they not just follow the plan, but follow follow the routine or do push-ups, they prefer to follow the routine here. And if you do this rigorously, you can avoid the push-ups here. But still, at the end of the day, it all comes down to the thing that you have to formulate such a mantra for you, which focuses on the process, helps you to focus on the process and not the result. And to put it differently, making money in trading is a byproduct of making right decisions. So which means at the end of the day, you can think about trading think about flipping a coin, for example. So there's a 50% chance of heads and there's a 50% chance of tails. Now assume that you're getting paid €2 for every heads, and you lose €1 for every tails. This is a profitable bet. And even if you lose, let's say 10 times a row, and you lost €10, it should be clear that you should keep on playing, since over the long run, heads and tails will both come the same amount of time, let's say over 100 spins or whatever. And so the right decision here is to keep on playing a game with a positive expectancy. And it's the byproduct will most likely then come, or the byproduct will be the money you make the long run here, in fact. And this is something where you can already understand that trading and doing trading based on right decision making is process driven. It's something which is also mainly psychologically based, in fact. So it's not that the market wants to take something away from you or so. No, it's the market goes up or goes down. It doesn't really matter whether you're long or short, and the market doesn't know that. And this is something which your mantra, for example, should include already. So to give you a better idea, I have here an example for such a mantra. I live that mantra because it's my mantra for trading. It's one of my mantras, but it's one which is crucial to my trading. So if you want, you can use it yourself. I'm more than happy. I would be more than happy if this mantra here helps you to become a better trader in 2020 and beyond, in fact. So let's go through the mantra here step by step, sentence by sentence. So losses are part of the trading business. That's something I firmly believe in. It's not that it's easy to take the losses, but you start to really, you can deal with it. Over time, you will become fine with losing here, and losing trades in general. I know about the profitability of the strategy which I trade. so my trading strategy, and that I'm trading with a positive expected value. So there will be times when I lose money, and I lose more money than I should have lost based on the expected value I can calculate. I can, for example, tell you that my strategy struggled in 2019. That's true not only for equity strategies, but also for FX strategies. Both are based on breakout trades. Let's come back to who I am. So it's not that I do this the first time now in 2020, but I did this several years ago already. Why are breakout strategies perfectly suiting my personality? It's because I'm a character which grinds, and once the breakthrough is happening, then I take on momentum and I capitalize then on the momentum I take. And this is not only true when it comes to trading, but it's also true in all situations in my life. I discovered this some years ago, that this is the way I work, and I perform really well. So I have no trouble to grind here, for example. So I'll put this in another context. Probably some of you have done a diet somewhere in the past, and probably you remember what happened. It was like you say, okay, I want to lose, or let's give a real number. So I'm 90 kilos and I want to go down to 85. Okay. So now you formulate a plan. You know that it's not just going to the gym, but it's also important to going to the gym, but it's also important in regards to your to nutrition, to what you eat. And so the thing now is that after, let's say, you see first successes, let's say you lose 3 kilos, you stagnate and nothing happens. And it's like you can work out, you can keep on focusing on your diet here, everything, but you just won't go below 87. I, for myself, I did this. I went through this several years ago already. And so the thing was, you're really going crazy. But I kept on grinding. I kept on focusing on the process. I kept on focusing on the fact that I had to keep my diet plan, but also to go to the gym, keep on going to the gym. And then there was the breakthrough, and I sooner than later achieve the goal of 85 kilos, for example. So this is probably something you have lived through in your life in general, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine. I know that the more I keep on working, the more I grind, there will be a day once there will be the breakthrough, and then I am successful, and I take on momentum from there. And this is the same with my trading. In 2019, for example, my trading suffered because these breakout strategies and trend developments didn't really work out. It was really choppy market conditions. Look at, for example, the last months of the year 2019 in the DAX, for example. There was a trading range. The market didn't really break out, but it's just like this. And then you get stopped in, get stopped out. You get stopped in, you get stopped out, get stopped in, get stopped out. And that really, it is painful. But still, I know that I'm still trading with a positive expected value in my trading, okay? And this is something you really have to believe in. You have to believe in yourself, in your ability. You have to know yourself. You have to know what you're corresponding with well in your overall life, and how this can then be adapted to your trading, or respectively how your trading can work together with your personality here. So I know I keep on trading with a positive expected value, and this is something I remind myself on. So I keep on following the rules because I know rather sooner or later the tide will turn, and I will keep on, and I will get paid for being disciplined here, and the break will occur, and then I will start to make money again, and the positive expectancy of the strategy will to keep on playing out again, and I can capitalize on my edge, I know. Okay, so still, even though I have a profitable trading approach, there will be losing trades, and there will be losing periods. These losing trades are the price I pay for my next trading chance. What do I mean by that? Well, very simple. The price I pay here is, let's say, 1 R. So, okay, I enter the trade and I get stopped out. So I paid a price. But the thing is, I got stopped out. Just imagine the market's not just stopping you out, but keeps on moving lower from there. And you're still in the trade because you take out the stop. and then the market keeps on accelerating on the downside, and probably you start to average down, and you start to permit into the trade, and then to get to the average price, because you keep on building the position. You try to, or you say, the market now only has to go 10 points in the right direction, and I can get out here of this trade and break even, and I will never do this again. And at the end of the day, your account is crashed. You just crushed the account, so you do not have another trading chance anymore. While this here makes sure that I understand that this is the cost of doing business, and the business is trading. So, which means losing trades are the price I pay for my next trading chance, because I know the risk and money management plan makes sure that I will be around tomorrow too, and the price I pay today makes sure that I have the possibility to be around in my trading tomorrow again. Okay, so following a rigorous risk and money management plan will reduce my risk of ruin to zero. Risk of ruin is the number which tells you how likely it is that you, in this case, crush your account. The point of ruin is the one you formulate for yourself once you will stop trading. For example, a drawdown of 25% or something. My risk and money management plan now makes sure, based on the data I have collected with my trading, makes sure that I will never reach this point based on the bet size. My R, the risk I take per trade, in fact. So I can calculate this. And thanks to that I know that the risk of ruin is zero in my trading approach to my risk and money management plan, thanks to that, I will stay in the trading game long enough to capitalize on the positive expected value of my strategy and see a rising equity curve in the long run. So this is, for example, a mantra you could follow in your trading, and not just in 2020, but also beyond. Yeah, and I think that's it. And I think this is already cutting it. Now, an example. Let's formulate an idea on a daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly goals, and what makes it easy for you to achieve that. Or put it differently, let's go back to the I want to lose, let's say, 10 kilos a year, and you formulated this on the 31st of December, and now the first 2 weeks of the year are through. And you already suffer because you already say, well, I don't really want to go to the gym anymore. I don't want to follow here the diet plan. Why is that? Is that because you're not disciplined? Probably it's because you want too much right from the start. So how many people go to the gym with the target to lose, let's say, 10 kilos and spend, let's say, 3 hours in the gym? Right at the start of the year? Well, to be honest, I mean, I really love to work out. I really love to go to the gym, talk to people there, nice people around me. I love the feeling I get from working out, and the positive feeling in general I have once I return home. But to be honest, I won't stay there for 3 hours, really. I have no intention to do that. And so I can fully understand that you're completely demotivated after, let's say, 2 weeks, because you say, I don't want to do that anymore. That's one of the reasons why you have to put small goals, and not just small goals, but achievable goals, which will keep you motivated and keep you in the process here. And that's why, for example, on a daily basis, it could be a good idea to say, I will follow my trading plan strategy no matter what. So I follow the plan. That's my daily plan. And I achieve the goal at the end of the day. It's not important, and you can see that here, whether it's a winning or losing trade. You have a plan, you follow the plan. Easy. That's it. So if you don't follow the plan, 10 push-ups. Okay? So then, on a weekly basis, the target could be that you say, I will make sure that I document all my trades and review them, let's say, every Saturday and before the next week of trading starts. So you have a trading journal and you document every trade. And if you did this, you sit down on a Saturday for, let's say, 1 hour and you review the trades. You look, okay, what did I do here? Did I follow my routine? If so, okay, did it work out? Did it not work out? If I didn't follow the routine, did I do my push-ups and all this? So this is how you could set weekly goals. Monthly goals could be that you say, I will review my documented trades at the last day or weekend of the month, all of them, and you find areas of underperformance especially. So you say, okay, this strategy, you say you have two strategies. One is performing well, the other is performing not so good. So the question is why? And then you write down the reasons for the underperformance, probably because market conditions do not meet your trading strategy. You filter them out and start anew next month with the same process. And then quarterly, you say, well, my quarterly target is I aim for winning quarter by working on and avoid trading mistakes. So follow this routine here and keep on working on you, the whole process. Will make sure that it's achievable, that after a quarter, and you will be surprised how quick a quarter is over and the next quarter starts. And then you can tap yourself on the back and say, hey, great, that was a great job. And then you keep on doing the same process again. And after 2 quarters, you have already 6 months of the year. And you will see this process alone, following this routine here, will certainly bring you to the next level, to a higher level in your overall trading, and also give you joy by following the routine, in fact. So it doesn't look at like this, but I can guarantee you, based on personal experiences, that having such small goals here will keep you motivated, and you can't wait to start the next week of trading by not focusing on winning and losing trades anymore, but to focus on the process and the right decision-making process which is behind that. So, the summary. To create your trading plan and formulate your trading goals for 2020, answer the following questions. Let's sum this up. So first question you have to answer for yourself is, why are you trading? What do you want to accomplish for yourself in your life with trading? How does trading here give your life fulfillment or something positive which you can connect then with your trading, and which makes it easier to follow a clear routine and focus on the process here? Then find out what are your personal strengths and weaknesses, and especially how can you use the knowledge of these strengths and weaknesses about to improve as a trader. And then, what is your trading mantra for 2020? Again, you can use the one I just presented to you. Probably it works for you. Make sure that this helps you to reach your non-monetary goals in your trading and keeps you focusing on the whole process here. And that's it. In fact, so I want to make sure that you also see that on Monday, now Paul is here again for you with the next Trading Spotlight webinar. So don't forget to join us next time. Same time on Monday, Paul will talk to you about managing your motivation as a trader. Much of probably what I already presented to you right now, how to manage motivation to avoid a burnout especially. So how to overcome lapses in motivation. So it's not just by try to avoid push-ups, for example. How to develop knowledge and skills to improve your motivation. And same time, 2 p.m. London time on the 13th of January, Monday. Check your inbox for the webinar link. So if you joined us here today live, then you will get an email with the link right to your inbox. If you watch this on YouTube, probably you liked what I just presented. So please leave a thumb up here for us. That would be really, really nice and much appreciated. And feel free to check out the link with the description box of the video here. There's also the link to the registration then to join the webinar live. And if you watch this on YouTube, there's the link then here. Again, check it just in the checkbox. Ask your questions below the video. Ask them in our Traders Yard community, for example. And we will be there for you. So we will be more than happy, not just me, but also Paul and Marcus would be more than happy to answer your questions. For more analysis education, feel free to reach out to admiralmarkets.com, the website, and here are the contact details once again. And at the beginning, I already started it, and I said that Admiral is fully regulated. That's why we have to have a look here at the risk disclaimer. And that's it from my end. So I wish you all the best. Happy trading 2020, even though we will talk again next week on Friday, same time. And now have a nice weekend. Enjoy yourself. Talk to you soon. All the best. See you, and bye-bye.